I'm just tired.
That's fair, man.
I'm just tired. Hi everyone, welcome to R2-BD. My name is Joey.
I'm Jacob.
We are brothers. We like Star Wars, and we're talking about Star Wars. Today we're continuing more Star Wars comics. We're talking about more of those things.
More Star Wars comics.
More Star Wars comics. Do you think do you think we'll ever get sick of talking about Star Wars?
Nah.
Well,
I mean, considering the whole reason we're doing this is because we just did nothing but talk about Star Wars.
Exactly, yeah. I just wonder occasionally. But then I think, like, I have a comic podcast that's been running for, like, nearly 4 years now.
Yeah, it's been going on for a long while.
Actually, at the time it's coming out, it's definitely been over 4 years now. But also, comics are about different characters and teams and things like that. This is all just Star Wars. But Star Wars, I think, also has that similar sort of, it's about many different things all under one umbrella.
I mean, I think a great example of that is all of the recent book announcements as of the recording of this.
Yes.
That's a great...
You know what? Before we actually get into this, I want to talk about those, actually, because we're recording this right after New York Comic Con, and there were some great Star Wars announcements there, actually, that I was fascinated by. Book announcements.
Yeah, book announcements.
For a Jar Jar Binks comic with Claire and Beck.
Right.
Co-written by Ahmed Best, and also co-written by Mark Guggenheim, which, whatever, is what it is.
Yeah.
A new High Republic mini-series, that's exciting.
Very exciting.
Legacy is obviously the thing people are really jazzed about. That's really exciting.
And then there's just a whole ass romance book.
That's exciting as well. I found out about Legacy, though.
What'd you find out?
It's going to feature Rey and Leia going to Tython.
Oh.
Tython, I also had not realized, was the same planet from The Mandalorian that he takes Grogu to on the Rock.
No.
In season 2. That's Tython. That's meant to be Tython, yeah.
That's awesome.
Now, of course, this is significant for us, for those that aren't aware or listening to this, because we recently read Dawn of the Jedi Into the Void, which heavily featured Tython.
It was it's the home planet of the Jedi.
The Jedi, yes. According to legends. I wonder, I'm assuming, based on the fact that they used it that way in The Mandalorian, that might still be the case in current canon.
This book would be the one to... hammer that would be the one to confirm or deny the canonicity of that stuff.
I'm also just excited for the idea of more Star Wars between certain sequel movies. That's exciting as well.
It is.
Shadow of the Sith was a step in the right direction, although that was still pretty firmly, post Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. It just happens to be slightly closer to the sequel trilogy.
Yeah. But this is literally between two sequel films. And you know what I'm realizing now, actually? I don't actually know, because I could tell you off the top of my head, the amount of time between, the first two trilogies. I know for a fact there are, there's a single year between Empire and Return of the Jedi. I know there's 10 years between Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. I know all these things. But I don't know the years between the sequel films. And I feel like I should know that.
I wonder if, without getting into it super long, I wonder if that's because the nature of the sequel films as they were being made was tentative, and they didn't want to put any hard dates on anything happening.
No, because they definitely announced how long each film was between. I'm just now forgetting what they were. This is unrelated to everything, of course. Yeah. So we're not talking about any of that today.
This is all just because we're talking about other things.
We just happen to be talking about these things. But today we're actually talking about Darth Vader. We're finishing a Darth Vader. We've been covering Darth Vader by Kieran Gillen since literally the very beginning of R2-BD, since the very start of this show.
Yeah, it's a core part of the original structure of why we do this.
Yeah, so this is pretty cool. We're finishing off that run today. We read the final volume, End of Games, which we're talking about today. It's issue numbers 20 through 25.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah, those are the ones. 20 through 25. It's a fascinating end. And it really does. I think it'll be interesting to revisit this series eventually. It's sort of in retrospect. Because I really did hammer home by the end of this volume what the run as a whole is kind of about. Because you look at Darth Vader as he stands in A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, and you see this kind of stark contrast between those two. Not characterization. I guess sorry, he's still characterized the same.
It's the perception around him.
Mm-hmm. So you end A New Hope, he's kind of a fuck up. He fucks up. He gets the Death Star destroyed.
Even through New Hope, you got just Imperial. Yeah, they're top Imperials. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these guys just stand up to Vader all the time.
But they could be like, Vader, shut up, and he'll do that.
Yeah. Well, that's also because you have Tarkin there as well, and this isn't something that's like as important these days, but certainly like, it's one of those things that, like, there's that line in New Hope when Leia says to Tarkin, I should have expected to find, I never expected to find you holding Vader's leash, like, the bureaucracy of the Empire is kind of the thing holding Vader back. And by the end of this volume, and where you see him in Empire Strikes Back, dropping bodies left and right,
the bureaucracy, screw the bureaucracy.
He cares so little for that shit. He will drop anyone. So what we see throughout this entire run, from the first volume to now, is Vader changing. Vader going from this total fuck up guy that got the Death Star destroyed.
A guy the Emperor was like, I don't really trust you anymore. Not completely anyway.
Yeah. To eventually, this incredibly feared leader. So once again, a feared leader within the Empire, and someone that is commanding the Imperial flagship, the Executor, which does become a big part of this violum, actually, the Super Star Destroyer Executor, which I really like seeing that a lot throughout here. What's also important is that, like, so on the Emperor's plan, because obviously we ended Shutor in War talking about the Emperor finally explaining things to Vader and why things have been the way they have been for so long. And it is because the Emperor didn't trust Vader. Now, of course, people like to spin this idea that, like, Palpatine, every single thing that happened post Return of the Sith was, like, part of his plan, but, like, Return of the Sith was the plan.
Yeah, the plan was get the power.
Yeah. Once he has the power, it's a little more difficult to hold on to that power. And part of that is not quite knowing where Vader goes from there. Now,
especially because, as Palpatine points out to him, you almost died.
Yeah, like, Anakin supposedly dying on Mustafar was not part of the plan. Darth Vader was the guy that Anakin turned into, not because of his cyborginess, but because he turned to the dark side. Him getting burnt to a crisp on Mustafar was not part of the plan.
It's actually a massive inconvenience.
Yeah. So you have the Emperor, like, treating Vader as disposable here, throughout this entire run, I would say. With Silo and the various people that, like, Silo augmented in order to take Vader's place. So we have the culmination of all of that here. We have we have this move against Silo, because we learn that Silo was in fact the one that designed the cybernetic augmentations done to Anakin to make him Darth Vader.
Which, in retrospect, totally makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And so now that Vader has once again proven himself, now the final test is essentially to wipe Silo off the board, because he's now a threat.
And is also, like, an actual traitor.
Mm-hmm. I really love, though, that, like, although Vader is still very much, like, in Palpatine's control here, there is just this very, like, open moment between the two of them early on in the comic, where they just lay everything out. Palpatine's like, generations of the Sith have betrayed each other, and, we've been killing each other this entire time. And Vader's like, hey, okay, but let's be real about this. If I had died, you would have just replaced me, is all you're trying to say here, right? That's exactly what would have happened. You didn't care if I died.
like all of those pseudo-apprentices you had, like, augmented to be pseudo-force users.
Mm-hmm.
If any of them replaced me, you would have been like, my guy.
Yeah, seriously.
And Palpatine's like, and?
Yeah, there's this great, like, it's drawn brilliantly. Salvador Larroca has just been the king of art on this run. But he draws this great little just panel where they're just staring at each other. Vader's like, I could have died, and you would have easily replaced me. They just stare at each other. They just stare at each other for a hot second. Everything's out in the air, and Vader's like, that does not matter. Moving on. I just want you to know that I know.
Right.
And so they move on. We start making moves against Silo here. But first there's, like, a loose end to deal with, and that is Inspector Thanoth. Introduced back in Volume 2 as, like, this sort of Sherlock Holmes type character, who knows a lot about Vader, or is learning a lot about Vader. We learned, like, at the start of this that, like, he has found out that Darth Vader is Anakin Skywalker.
He has put enough pieces together and is like, boy, oh boy, do I know what your plans are. He
knows that, like, the second he says this to Vader, that he's dead. That, like, he's a dead man. It doesn't matter at this point. What he says, he's gonna die. And he also knows about Luke. He knows that, like, the way he really put this together was like, oh, Luke Skywalker, you've been going after him a lot. Not just because he's the Death Star guy.
Even though that is a totally valid reason
to send
the attack dog of the Empire on him.
But once again, Sherlock Holmes of the Empire. This guy kind of puts two and two together as, like, why are you so interested in this Luke. Oh, look at that, Skywalker. That's a name with a lot of weight behind it, isn't it?
Let me just go back to my Clone Wars records.
Yeah.
And see if there was a Skywalker. Oh, look at that!
It does bring up this fascinating idea of like, what is like, how, if anyone within the Empire learned that Darth Vader was Anakin, how would he actually be treated? I like to take that Thanos has on this. Thanos, he learns that Anakin Skywalker is Darth Vader, or vice versa.
Yeah, vice versa.
And kind of goes, oh shit, I've been serving with a fucking war hero this whole time. And he literally says before he dies, it has been an honor serving with you, Anakin. Mm-hmm. And it's this great moment. But I'm fascinated by that idea that like, I don't know, I wonder like if the reaction would be the same from a lot of the Empire. Maybe not.
I think a lot of maybe the upper brass, because there would be, theoretically, they're older. Mm-hmm. They remember a lot more of the Clone Wars because they probably took part in it. Yeah, we have someone like, I mean, God, imagine if Yularen found out. Good God. Someone like him, I think he would absolutely be like, oh, my war hero buddy that I served constant hours with. Mm-hmm. How you doing?
Yeah.
I think everyone would be either way more casual with Vader, which is bad for them, obviously.
Yeah.
Or they would be way more respectful, which is also bad for them. Either way, they die.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of the younger breasts, the new people, they were children, if not, depending on how young they are, maybe not even born during the Clone Wars.
Yeah, exactly. But someone like Thanos, he's older, he's been around a while, and he knows. He probably heard of Anakin Skywalker back during the Clone Wars. He knows this guy.
Anakin Skywalker was famed rebellious style Jedi Knight.
I mean, he had bringing back around to Star Trek, because I've been thinking about this a lot lately since we rewatched the Corrigan maneuver on our Patreon.
Yes.
Patreon.com/Blooded Studios. Check it out. But it's almost like Captain Kirk, like roguish leader, reputation that Anakin had, and it made him famous and sometimes infamous. And so Thanos is killed. And we start going after Silo. However, off to the side, we give 000 and BT their own little mission, which is to find Dr. Aphra. We know where Dr. Aphra is, and they've been sent out to find her. We get this great little backup story called The Misadventures of 000 and BT.
It's so good.
It is so good. It is about this guy that knew Aphra and knew of the idea of this
the 000 program, triple zero matrix.
Yes. And something and was aware of BT, the as he's called, a blastromech.
Right. Maybe that was said before and I don't remember, but that's awesome either way.
Yeah. But like didn't know that these were the droids that were made out of these things. And so 000 goes here like under the guise of like, oh, I need some repairs and whatever. And so he takes off his arms and everything and he works on them, because we had the whole back in Vader Down, his arms getting ripped off and he's like, I got some like subpar arms put on.
I only have one syringe.
Yeah. There's some great, like, I don't know, Kieran Gillen, I'm assuming this will be the same thing when they eventually carry over into the Dr. Aphra spin-off title, but like, I love the way Kieran Gillen writes 000 babble. Just like him going on and on, because he's always talking. One of my favorite lines, I wrote this down here because it's such a great line. He's saying something like, he's like, oh, I'm incredibly deadly, but also I keep myself busy. I always have something going on.
God, what is it? Oh yes, I know exactly what line.
The line is, heaven help everyone if I get bored. It's so good. But eventually, like, this guy like figures out that this is the 000 from the 000 Matrix.
Yeah, he hasn't even put together that BT is the Imperial droid yet.
And there's just this horrifying, like, deadpan look from 000, just eyes glowing, looking at him. And after he puts it together, he just goes, please put my arms back on.
Yes.
And he's just like, it's fucking terrifying.
000 can't even actually really do anything right
genuinely now. Genuinely scary. But you know who can do something? BT.
BT can.
God, it is a great little backup story. I really love it. Of course, being 000 and BT, they go on to massacre a bunch of people in order to find Dr. Aphra. Aphra eventually like surrenders and gives into their
hands. Importantly, they're blasting out like a bar, And she's like, what is your primary mission? Bring you back safely.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, is that all? Well, I surrender.
Yeah. So there's this great little loophole here, which he's taken back to the Imperials on the Executor, and she is she's being like handed off to them, and she's like, so you've fulfilled your primary order right now, and they're like, oh yes, we absolutely have, and she's like, okay, cool, so new prime directive, save me, and
they kind of look at it, they're like. Bullshit, alright, let's get going.
Can't argue with that. So he gets some more, them fucking massacring even more people. I love these guys. I truly can't wait to see them untethered, like, from Imperial bureaucracy and, like, Darth Vader shit, when they're just, like, off having adventures with Aphra. I'm very excited to read the actual Aphra mini. Aphra series.
Same here.
So excited to get into that. That just, it excites me greatly.
And remind you, her primed order is save me.
Mm-hmm. Why? I'm going through my notes on 000 here. Why do I have a note about 000 and separatists? I need you to help me figure this out.
Ooh, and separatists.
The separatists I have written down, and I don't know what that was relating to.
Oh, if I remember correctly, the 000 matrix has been tried. If I remember it correctly, what's the note before, just so I make sure.
It's okay. So they go back and forth between like Vader and 000BT notes. So that's Vader and the Void Gazer. But before that, it's right after Aphra's new order towards them. So that's all I've got as far as.
No, that can't be like I don't know. I can't picture what.
I don't know. Something with the separate. I don't know. I have it written down. Unless did he exist that long ago? I'm guessing.
I mean, the implication that the guy who fixed him and then promptly was killed.
Mm-hmm.
He had some indication that the 000 matrix is older than like the Old Republic.
Yeah,
that it's been activated a couple of times and has always been promptly deactivated.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's
probably related to that. I don't know. It's been a solid a little over a week since I wrote these notes.
It's probably a reference, from remembering correctly, to 000 briefly being activated for separatist use and then being too dangerous.
Oh, that might be it. Yeah, that would make sense.
It's the kind of thing Palpatine would have seen and gone, nope, that's going to disrupt my plan a little too much.
Yeah. We'll hop back to 000 and BT in a little bit. I want to talk about Vader fucking running the gauntlet on Silo's cybernetically enhanced people, because
including
my god,
himself.
Yeah, he goes after fucking everyone. We got the Void Gazer here. We got Void Gazer and a cybernetically augmented Rancor, which is so fucking cool. We get this great fight scene here between Vader and this Rancor, and then eventually Void Gazer. Just a really, really cool fight.
Yeah,
I have tagged down, and I'm not quite sure why, because he doesn't die till later.
He's just knocked out, so that they
probably
can take over. He's knocked out so that.
Is that part of the 000 notes? That might be part of that.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Anyway. Well, I know Tag is down because Solo's like, I want to take over the main ship.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
And so that's probably what that note is in reference to.
Yeah. But Vader eventually kills the Rancor, kills Void Gazer, and finds himself face to face with Morit once again, who I thought was just going to fuck off after Shu-Torun War.
I know, right?
He got away scot-free, and he didn't need to go back to Silo, but he fucking did.
Stupidly, he went back to Silo.
Dumbass. I wonder that maybe I'm a little let down by that, because I wonder if. Not that I really desperately needed to see Morit again later on, but I kind of like the idea of like Vader actually sparing someone like properly for once, specifically in a situation like the one at the end of Shu-Torun that led to the other apprentice's death. Looking back at my other notes, Shu-Torun. Which one died?
I don't remember her name. The name.
She was called Iolan.
Iolan, yeah, because they reminded. Well, it's sort of like both of them reminded him of himself, I think.
Yeah. So like when he mercy kills Iolan, it's a better future for someone that was going to end up like him, and more getting away
is what he wished happened to him. I assume.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe I don't know. I would think I would have liked it if more just kind of fucked off forever. Maybe we saw him again eventually, but I think like
no, but he stupidly went right back and went, I got away.
Yeah.
Don't send me back. And Silo's like, well, I'm going to send you to fight him now.
Yeah. And once Vader has absolutely tore through all of Silo's men, he goes for Silo himself. And Silo, I really wish I put this together before it happened in the story, because it's a really great little twist. It's a great end of issue cliffhanger when Vader goes after Silo, and Silo's like, okay, well, I built your suit, so I could just stop your suit. And he stops the suit. He stops Vader.
It is such a great way to do that.
Stops Vader from walking towards him. And God, and then we get issue 24, which blew my goddamn mind.
It was so good.
We talked a lot in our last Vader episode for Shutorin about Vader's inner monologue and why he doesn't have one.
Yeah, and specifically, he does not have an inner monologue.
And we were talking more about this in between recordings,
like we usually do. Hence the reason we have created this podcast.
Indeed. And so we were talking about this, that expanding on this, that Vader doesn't have an inner monologue because when you give him an inner monologue, you humanize him too much. And I don't think it's helpful to humanize Vader, especially a Vader this far down the line. I think there is a hard line that has to be drawn when you're writing a character like Darth Vader, because if you equate him to Anakin too much, I think you make literal space Hitler a bit too much of a sympathetic character, and that can be a dangerous thing. However, and Vader has a redemption arc for a reason. Vader has a redemption arc because we show that even someone like him can eventually be saved. But there's a reason that his arc is what it is. There's a reason that when we see other encounters with Vader over time, that we solidify how monstrous he has become. Ahsoka Tano faces Darth Vader, gets so close to what she thinks, gets so close to bringing him back to the light, and trying to remind him of who he was before.
Only for him to just go, no.
He tries to kill her. He thinks he kills her. Obi-Wan, face to face with him. Same thing. Obi-Wan fucking cries talking to this man. And Vader straight up says, Anakin Skywalker is dead. I killed him. That is the fucking point. Who does it take? So, Ahsoka and Obi-Wan are people from Vader's life before, as Anakin. What would it actually take? So, if Anakin is dead, those people from his life before are actually going to succeed in saving him.
Because their perspective is of a corrupted man that was... a good man that was corrupted.
Yeah. Who does it take to actually save him? But Luke. Luke Skywalker, his son, comes in and sees a new man within him. Which is partially also... This is a whole other different tangent. This is partially why I also don't like Hayden Christensen being at the end of Return of the Jedi. It should be Sebastian... No. Sebastian? Something? Sebastian something. What's his name? Oh no, I feel so bad! I'll look it up as I'm talking about this. But Luke saves him because he sees something new within him. He sees his father.
Or to, as I put it, so you could do this a second. While they saw a good man that was corrupted, Luke Skywalker, his son...
Sebastian Shaw. It was on the fucking tip of my tongue. Sebastian Shaw. Go on.
Luke Skywalker sees a man, his father, that can be redeemed. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not the other way around.
Yeah. So, we get an issue like issue 24. And I'm fascinated by this because it is a physical representation of Vader's inner monologue. If you cannot write Vader's inner monologue, which you shouldn't, if you cannot write his inner monologue, you can show it. You can show what this man is thinking, show what it means for Vader to kill Anakin Skywalker. And we get this amazing issue. I think it can be kind of read out of context almost, even. You could just check out this great story about Vader being left with his thoughts. Because
kind of literally, because his body has more or less shut down on him.
Yeah. We see this alternative Revenge of the Sith, in which Anakin still goes down, still falls into the lava, but kind of screams and rails against it all, and says what he wanted to say. When he was burning there, he genuinely loved Obi-Wan and he cared about him, and Obi-Wan let him down as well. And eventually this strange sort of visual language, bringing Anakin out of here, and bringing Padme into it all. I think it just... Anakin also wishes in this alternate Return of the Sith that he would have died. Killing him would have been better. It would have been a mercy, because living as Vader is worse,
But in that strange line of reasoning, my read of it anyway, was that Vader's sort of going through the stages of grief, if you will.
Yeah.
He's dying and he's going back through what should have maybe been his final moments.
Yeah.
He goes through this, Obi-Wan, you actually let me down, and I should have died. Mm-hmm. But I have not died. I have now become Darth Vader.
Yeah.
And me being alive is now a problem for you.
Yeah.
And then Anakin Skywalker shows up. He's like, you are a monster. And Vader is like, you were but a child. I have become accustomed to killing children.
Yes. It's, oh god, it's so fucked up, and it's so good.
That is the point at which, like, Darth Vader is self-realizing the fact he has become this monster.
Yeah.
And he is sort of okay with it.
Oh yeah, he absolutely is.
Yeah, he is absolutely cool with this.
He sees Anakin, although the inner monologue is first portrayed as Anakin Skywalker, it becomes Anakin Skywalker versus Darth Vader, because they are, in his mind, two separate entities, and he has already successfully killed one.
In his mind's eye, in an attempt to regain his own body back, he is killing him again.
Yeah. I mean, God, like, larger question when it comes to Return of the Jedi, like, and bringing back around that point about Luke saving a different man that isn't Anakin Skywalker. Luke says to him when he faces him before they go to see the Emperor in Return of the Jedi, he says, I know you were once a man called Anakin Skywalker. You were once that man. He does not necessarily call him Anakin.
That you are Anakin Skywalker.
He never calls him Anakin properly, you know? He calls him father. He doesn't even say Darth Vader. He just says, father. You are my father. You're this separate man almost. And God, I mean, when it comes to the unmasked Vader at the end of Return of the Jedi, you know, looking at his son and saying, you know, tell your sister you were right. Like, that's kind of what that is. Like Luke is seeing his father. He is not seeing Anakin Skywalker as we knew him, or as anyone else living at that time knew him. Because, God, did anyone that knew Anakin Skywalker live at that time, aside from, like, the later retconned to be Ahsoka Tano still alive?
Ahsoka Tano, later retcon Captain Rex.
Yeah, but, like, I mean, like... But as far as, like, that film is concerned, like, anyone that knew Anakin from his life before isn't around. And...
Mon Mothma?
It is almost that... I guess so. But again, also, was that part of that film when that was made? No. Like, and so we have Vader here, or we have Anakin saved here, Luke's father specifically.
The Skywalker children's father,
a man who is allowed to exist because he is almost free of any tie to his past life, both as Anakin and as Vader. He's separate. He is this separate entity that Luke has not quite created, but has found within him. So. Fuck, I love Return of the Jedi. Vader eventually breaks free of Silo's control through just sheer force of will.
Like, literally. Through the power of the Force, his cybernetics come back on.
Yeah. Which, once again, is this idea of, you know, despite the fact that he is more machine now than man, he's still extremely powerful, still someone underneath there. Potentially Luke's father.
Yeah. Potentially, maybe.
Part of that. Anyway, but then Vader kills Silo.
He kills another body of him.
He kills another body of Silo. Silo is 6 that exists. It's one of those things where Vader's like, yes, I have it quoted here. By far your most appealing trait, referring to,
the fact he has, like, multiple clones.
Yeah, he's like, the fact that I can just keep killing you over and over again. It is the best thing about you. Right. It's pretty great. It's pretty great. So he throws Silo and all of his clothing tech into a fucking sun. And that's how we deal with him. So
I love too that Vader does it through a mind trick, because Silo's ship is, again, a cyborg. It's like a large space entity.
Yeah.
And he's doing a mind thing, like, fly into the sun. Silo's like, you can't get into my brain. Vader's like, I wasn't talking to you, and then just starts going away.
Yeah. It's so good. It's so good. And then we start to deal with our Aphra and Palpatine plotline, because Aphra, after being freed by her droid buddies, just walked into Palpatine's office and was like, "Hey man, how you fucking doing?"
I surprised you, and not many people can say that.
And man, I literally forgot I wrote this note here. It's a pretty great note. It just says Palpy is proud.
Because that issue ends with Aphra walking in, Palpatine all shocked. And she goes, "Do I have some news for you?"
Yeah, Palpy is proud of everyone. He's proud of Aphra for being this mad bitch that Vader had gotten tangled into his life. He's proud of Vader for building his little empire and trying to betray him. He's like, "Oh, you really are a Sith after all. Come to Papa." You know, so it's great. And then, God, we get this thing that I always love talking about. I love seeing in so much media these days. We have television shows like The Penguin and Agatha All Along, and you know, great pieces of genre fiction coming around and just saying like, no.
You know this evil character you kind of unnecessarily like in this context. We're gonna have him kick the dog.
Yeah, you need to kick the dog. It is this important thing about telling great stories about horrible people. Breaking Bad, things like that, where it's just like you can absolutely enjoy this story and be on this person's side the entire way through, but if you're just need to be reminded, at the end of the day, you're still experiencing the story of a bad person, and if you're not reminded of that, then you're sympathizing with the bad guy in
or through larger story arcs, this character needs to become morally gray and less obviously evil.
Yeah. But in this case, Vader should absolutely be evil, because we've solidified that, Anakin is dead.
Right. He kind of has to be, also through the dictates of films existing that are after this.
Yeah. So, God, it really is like, I think specifically to the Penguin. Spoilers for the Penguin, if people haven't seen that, the end of the Penguin, being the scene where Oz kills Victor, it is just this, like, there was this promise between them this entire time, that, like, if anything went on the line, like, Oz was always going to kill Victor. And Victor was...
He knew this. Vic knew this.
And Vic got fooled. Vic absolutely got fooled. He absolutely knew. He completely forgot that was part of the deal. Aphra, however, never forgot about that deal. And was always like, look, if things go sideways, you can kill me, make it quick. And that was the promise.
That was the promise. It would be quick. She always interpreted that to be by his blade, because, well, how else was he going to do that? And she knows she's screwed, because she's just babbling. Like, no, I actually made you look good. You gotta understand.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to fuck you over.
Yeah. And Vader not only, goes to kill her, goes back on his promise to make it quick. He throws her into an airlock, and there's just this amazing... It's Salvador LaRocca, once again on art, portraying beautifully the panic of Aphra in this moment, as things just really set in. I just feel that moment just really vividly. I have no clue. I know there's an audio drama with Dr. Aphra in it, and I have no clue what she sounds like in that, but I just had, for one particular scene, just an incredibly vivid sound in my head for what she should sound like, and how much I absolutely love that scene.
I absolutely got that same sense as well.
As the epilogue promises, though, of course, she is saved by Black Chrysanthemum, 000, and BT, which is a great team going into a spin-off comic. But aside from that, we have putting all of our final pieces in place, despite the fact that there are still, I think, a solid 2 years until The Empire Strikes Back takes place.
That's why the other Star Wars comic keeps going.
Yeah. But we have all of our pieces in place. Vader is in command of the Executor. Tag goes down. Vader does his first proper, Empire Strikes Back, kill the officer, make the next guy in command, actually in command. And
why does he kill Tag? Is it because he just hates him?
Tag has been a pain in his ass the entire fucking time.
That's right.
Just the entire fucking comic.
Because he kills Tag and is like, Ozzel.
Admiral Ozzel. We get fucking Admiral Ozzel.
How long will it take for this ship to be fully operational? I don't know. He's like, a month? You have 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And he's like, sir, that's kind of impossible. Do you want to end up like Tag?
Admiral Ozzel would in fact end up like Tag eventually. This poor guy. I really feel bad. He got a solid year or two right along Vader's side there on the Executor, and then he just came out of light speed too quickly.
Poor bastard, could happen to anybody.
And God, I absolutely love where Vader as a character leaves in this volume. Just this dream of his son, a character that he knows, that he genuinely wants a relationship with, you feel. And it is the beginning, I would dare say, of that version of that character that Luke sees within him. It's great. There's a great visual language there. It's if you haven't read the issue, just check it out. It's a brilliant sort of look at how that is done visually. And once again, no inner monologue. You don't need inner monologue. Vader shouldn't have inner monologue.
But we could do something like it with a visual storytelling.
Yeah. So yeah. That was that. There's a little backup story at the end there, though, about Tusken Raiders. It sort of flashes us back to the very first volume when Vader was hiring Boba Fett and Black Chrysanthemum, and
he just had some time to kill.
He had time to kill, and he just went off and murdered
and
some
sand
Tusken
people to kill.
Yeah, he has time and sand people to kill, and so we get this great. ever since Book of Boba Fett, I know people were ragging on Book of Boba Fett, but episode 2 of Book of Boba Fett is such a great, just singular Star Wars, just world building episode. I adore that. Do you remember that one?
I do know that one. Yeah,
amazing episode.
It's a really great standalone episode.
Yeah, I love expanding on Tusken Raider culture. I'm really into. I feel like this like really fits into that really incredibly like tribal mentality of that they have. This sort of ghost story they told of this man that came to their village years ago.
Well, one guy escaped. Yeah, he escaped, and he was like. And he told everyone there was this black hooded figure.
Yeah.
Had emotionless, slaughtered everybody. Why? I don't know.
Yeah. And next thing you know, another guy comes along. Everyone else sees this Vader figure, sees Darth Vader killing their people, just like the story of Anakin back from Attack of the Clones. And now they pray to this large Wicker Man type statue of Darth Vader. Like I've assumed praying for forgiveness, essentially.
Yeah, forgiveness definitely feels like the vibe.
Yeah, just please, horrible God, do not come back and slaughter our people once more. And it is just this really cool idea. That I see why it's a backup story, and I see why it's unrelated to the main story. But I think really captures, to me at least, the sort of monstrousness of what Vader should be, and what makes him not a good guy.
I think
Darth Vader's not a good guy.
I think it's placement as this epilogue, as what does it say in the book? A coda?
Yeah.
As like this, it's this perfect encapsulation of Vader from an outside perspective, like outside us even, like it's an audience, who has a decent idea of who Vader is.
Yeah.
How does he look in the snapshot right now? Oh, yeah. He's a big Wicker Man style fearful god. Okay.
Yeah. If I just have to hammer home one point at the end of all of our Darth Vader coverage, it's that Darth Vader's a bad guy, and you shouldn't feel bad for him. So,
especially because he's winning half the time.
Exactly, he's always winning. What's there to feel bad about? Ooh, what? His fucking wife died. He killed his wife. I get it. Palpatine killed his wife, but he mostly killed his wife.
He did most of the job, all things considered.
Most of the job. Then he tried to kill his son and daughter on multiple occasions. Most of the time with the knowledge that they were his son and daughter.
and only through the course of the first movie did he ever not really know.
Yeah. Insanity. That was Darth Vader, end of games. That was great. Just a really great title altogether. I do think, as a whole, Vader does take a little bit longer to get going than the Star Wars title does.
Do you know why? I think that's because, on the whole, based off what we've read recently and what we've read before that I have to go back into my mind to remember properly, is Vader... Because it takes time for Vader to get back the confidence to be the top dog.
Well, I think also because Star Wars and Vader crossed over so much early on, and we talked about this back when we covered Shu Torun, that, like, post Vader down, you can really feel like Kieran Gillen just really able to like flex his Darth Vader muscles and just really let it be its own story. Still utilizing things from the first 2 volumes, but really I think the back half of the run is where it really kicks into high gear and really becomes its own thing. So that is that. Let's talk about what we're covering next time, though, on the show.
Next time.
Bring it back to a book next time. I'm excited. It's my choice for a book.
It is your
time.
choice.
Yeah, we're talking about, at long last, Darth Plagueis by James Lucchino. Which I'm very excited to talk about. I've never read it. It's one of those all-time great Legends books that I've never checked out. And obviously you never have either.
Yeah, clearly.
But yeah, very excited to talk about that. Then we're going to start doing some video games the time after. So that'll be fun.
That will be fun.
Be on the lookout for all that. Other things to be on the lookout for, other things on the channel. Star Trek. Let's talk about just Star Trek, basically, because it's the other thing that we do together. There's also Fresh Face Comics. We talk about comics with my friend Jacob Licklider. Check out our Patreon, patreon.com/BloodOnNoteStudios. You can get all kinds of fun things there, like early Star Trek reviews, Star Trek commentaries, Fresh Face extras, and if you're not into any of that, there's a general support tier, just $1 a month. It gets your name down in the description below. It's the first thing that people see in the description, so they'll see your name there and say, hey, that's a pretty cool person. I want to be a cool person too, and they'll want to join the Patreon as well. That's what happens.
That exact
situation, that is what happens. Also, our link trees are my link tree and your Blue Sky. That'll all be linked down below. You can follow us wherever you want to follow us. I think that about does it, though, officially. Channel. Subscribe to the channel. That's the other thing. Blood Seas. The channel that you're watching this on right now, subscribe, please. That would be greatly appreciated. I'm great at this. You'd swear I've run this channel for over 4 years. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, this has been Joey Morgan.
I'm Jacob.
Goodbye. Bye.